What's going on, YouTube? It's Jamil here, and I'm in my car, but it's not on, so we can have a much more quiet environment for me to speak. And I listened to my last video, and it was pretty noisy. There was stuff in the background, and I may not have sounded as clear as I did. Sometimes my voice can just muffle everything, and just I don't know. It just sounds all mumbly, and so I do apologize. But anyway, this episode is the real episode where I do talk more about Gen 2. But first, a quick update. After I got the Charizard yesterday, I powered it up to the max at 2124, which is good. And I immediately, right after I ended the video, which was a 50-minute long video, but I had to cut some of it down, based off of the resources I had with me, just off my phone, because I'm still a caveman when it comes to this stuff. But right after I cut out the video, I sent the picture of Charizard to my friend, and this Dragonair pops up right next to me. See? Right there. Found it at, on the first, just like the Charizard. And I guess 2 hours later, as I was leaving, I also run into a Snorlax. Of course, it has the worst movesets in the game, which Lick isn't bad. It's great against Executors and things of that nature, Golduck, Starmie, because everything with Psychic is, anything that's Psychic type or Ghost type Lick is good against. But the fact that it has Body Slam to boot just kind of makes it to where, I don't know, it's not really all that good. I wish I had Zen Headbutt. It could do a little bit more damage. And also, it has shitty IVs too. Its IVs are bad. And I know I said this yesterday, but most probably haven't heard me. But I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like when I'm catching a Pokemon and it's like really high CP, and it constantly keeps popping out and you're just struggling to catch it, every time I do manage to catch it, I always find it to have really shitty IVs. Any Pokemon that has high CP, that's like near maxed on the bar, that you struggle catching, will always have shitty IVs. It's been a trend with me. Like, if I'm not the only one, then maybe, there's something a little bit more legitimate going on there. But that's still left out in the wind, left for anyone to take their conclusions from there. But anyway, so today I maxed out my Jolteon that had Thunder. It took quite a bit of Stardust and quite a bit of EV Candies. I still have over 400. Got a 2200 there. Almost right here. Powered this up yesterday. However, I really wish that this one had the Rock Slide. The 3 charge moves it has was Ancient Power, Rock Slide, and Hydro Pump. And it does have a move, I think it has Mud Shot or Mud Slap. I'm not sure which, but all mine have Water Gun so far. And I really wish that he had a really good rock move, like Stone Edge. I mean, I would have been happy with him having like a move like Stone Edge, but we all can't get what we want. But anyway, on to it. I've been stacking candies as well for common, because I am getting ready to pop a lucky egg soon. Now, I'm not sure if I want to do it like tomorrow, or when Gen 2 comes out, or when I level up to level 29. I'm still unsure which, but by then I want at least 600 Pidgey candies like I did last time, but they did speed up. They did cut off some time during the evolution, so you can evolve more, so I might need a little bit more. But that's all for another episode. But anyway, on to more pressing matters, which is Gen 2. The first being What kind of Pokemon candies should you save up? And I'm gonna start by saying, first off, we all know that there's evolutions. You want to stock up on your Eevee candies because Umbreon and Espeon is definitely a Pokemon that is still very good evolutions in the game. So stock candies for those. Next, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way from the top here. These are legendaries: Dragonite, Dragonite. Porygon, again, I think it's an evolution, or it might be a separate Pokemon altogether. Porygon 2 is one that you need to stock candies for. I still don't even own a Porygon. I haven't hatched one from an egg yet. Scyther is another. Its evolution is very strong, and it's very tanky. Scizor is a Bug Steel type Pokemon that, if it has the right movesets, I really hope it does have Bullet Punch in Pokemon Go when it does get implemented along with Gen 2. Just fingers crossed. Like, I would want a moveset like Fury Cutter and Bullet Punch. Fury Cutter and Bullet Punch sounds good. If not, then Steel Wing and Bug Buzz. That'd be fine too. Next we have, okay, there's the Scyther. Come on, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. Yes, that's it. There will be a baby form, a baby Pokemon called Tyrogue, and it can evolve, and it will be a split evolution between Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, which I have not seen yet, and then there will be a new Gen 2 Hitmon, which is Hitmontop, and it's like a little boy-looking thing, and it stands on top of its head, like a spinning top kind of thing. Hence the name Hitmontop. So there's that. You do want to stack candies. I don't know if when Gen 2 comes out, if these Hitmonlee candies or Hitmonchan candies will just alternate into Tyrogue candies. Unsure about that. Don't ask. Next is Slowking. Now I did look it up, and Slowking is indeed the evolution of Slowbro. So I am currently stacking candies. I have about 80 candies for Slowpoke, but that's off of Slowbro that I evolved with 770 something CP Slowpoke, and which is currently 1600 something Slowbro. So I do want to stack about 225 candies so I can get 2 separate Slowkings, so I can have hopefully have 2 different movesets, if you know what I mean. Next, you want to have you want to stack your Poliwrath candies, because along with Poliwrath being final evolution, there will also be another option, or not option per se, but it will be a split evolution from Poliwhirl. And so not only could you have Poliwrath, but you can have Politoed, which I believe that is straight water. So I don't know if Poliwrath would still be the superior choice, but I mean, I would go for the Politoed anyway, just to fill the Pokédex. Next one, not a lot of people think about, is Oddish. Stack up Oddish candies, because Vileplume is a final evolution now, but then there will be a split evolution. It could be either Vileplume or Blossom. Blossom is a flower Pokemon that wears like leaves or petals as a skirt, and it's got little flowers on the top of its head. I'm pretty sure most have seen it or know what I'm talking about when I mention its details out loud. Next, obviously, you want to stack Zubat candies. Stack Zubat candies for Crobat. Crobat will be a force to be reckoned with. It is a very strong Gen 2 Pokemon, so stack up on those as well. Next, I'm going to talk about the Pokemon that you're going to want to find, or that you're going to want to get your hands on. The first is Larvitar, obviously. For those who know about Gen 2, Tyranitar is essentially the Dragonite of the generation. If you find a Larvitar nest, you're golden, as I've said before. But if not, then Just slowly stack candies. If you can get the Tyranitar, you have a very, very strong Pokemon. One of the strongest Pokemon in the game. Of course you won. Oh yeah. So, there's that. Next, I don't know why I passed over it, but you do need the stack Horsey candies for Kingdra, because Kingdra is also a very strong Pokemon. I believe there's another one of you somewhere. I'm not sure. But anyway, so there's Tyranitar. The next thing you want, and that's just an obvious one. There are a couple of more Pokemon that I would like to list off that not a lot of people know about or think about too much because it's just Generation 2. But I find these Gen 2 Pokemon to be like very, very solid. Like, as solid as, like, let's say a Slowbro, you know, or an Executor kind of thing. So let's go and leave that. And which Pokemon am I talking about? Well, the first one I want to talk about is Teddiursa and Ursaring. For the longest time, I believe up until Gen 5, Ursaring was a very, very strong, one of the strongest normal Pokemon in the game. I think it was the second strongest or the first strongest, being Snorlax or Ursaring, either or. But Snorlax is more tanky. I believe Ursaring had a much higher, not a much higher, but a higher attack stat by like a small percentage. But in any case, it was still extremely strong. I had a very good attack stat. It could Hyper Beam, it could use Slash, and it could just drop Pokemon like nobody's business. So Ursaring is a bear it's the bear Pokemon. Now if you find a Teddiursa nest, you're good to go, but Teddiursa is also a normal, so it could be a common spawn. You never know. Same thing with Sentret or Furret, the squirrel, the flying squirrel Pokemon. That will essentially be another Eevee. So don't worry about that. But another Pokemon that I don't think a lot of people think about is Quagsire and Whopper. Whopper is the base form of Quagsire. Whopper is a water/ground Pokemon, actually. It is water ground. And I remember when I'm playing Pokemon Silver and I go into Quagsire, I see that it's obviously water, but for some reason I kept thinking it was part poison, so I kept trying to use electric. Electric moves did not affect it at all, simply because it was part ground, and it was very, very strong physically and special attack wise, and it was very, very tanky as well. It was, you know, it had the defense like of Snorlax. I mean, that Pokemon was incredibly tanky, incredibly strong. I believe that is going to also be another Pokemon that is like, it's like one of those sleeper type Pokemon, the ones that not a lot of people know about. But if you know about a lot about Gen 2 and their Pokemon, and you've tested them out exclusively, and you know their capabilities, then you know what I'm talking about, and you know your stuff. You'll know what to get. Which is why it's no surprise that Ursaring would have made the list if you know about Gen 2. Quagsire is a sleeper Pokemon. I'm trying to think of any other Pokemon that I can think of. Houndoom, I believe it's the Arcanine of the generation. Houndour is the puppy form, and Houndoom is the final evolution, which is a fire dark. I believe the fact that it's part dark will make it more used, a little bit of a better Pokemon because it's a dual type, but I don't think it is stronger in any way than Arcanine. Arcanine, I believe, still has the edge in terms of power. If you go fire for fire, I believe Arcanine will still win the battle, but overall Houndoom has a little bit more attacking capabilities, so there's that. Another Pokemon that a lot of people that still play these current gen Pokemon will know about. Its adult form is not in Gen 2, but its baby form, or not baby form, but its base Pokemon is in Gen 2, and that is Sneasel. Sneasel is a dark ice Pokemon, which is incredibly good and incredibly versatile due to its moveset and due to the fact that the overpowered Psychic type Pokemon cannot touch it. Simply because it is a dark type Pokemon. And not only could it learn things like Feint Attack and Ice Beam, but it can also learn things such as Fury Cutter, which is a bug type move, which was also incredibly good against Grass, Psychic, and I believe Ghosts. And not only that, but Sneasel is also incredibly fast. It is an incredibly fast Pokemon, so I consider that more or less a... That's a Jolteon maybe, but that's just something that I personally am going to try and look for. There's quite a few Pokemon that I'm going to be looking for. Octillery is another one. Octillery is a evolved Pokemon from the Pokemon Remoraid, which is sort of like a Magikarp, except it's more of a white fish kind of thing, smaller. It evolves into an octopus, which is also a very versatile Pokemon. It wasn't too tanky, but it did indeed do some damage in terms of a special attack. The next one, which I believe enough people will be looking for, it's another ice Pokemon, but it's a rock. It's rock ice, and it's the pig Pokemon, the swine Pokemon, known as Piloswine. It's just a big looking pig. It can use Earthquake, it can use Blizzard, and it's just all around a very good physical and special attacker. And the fact that it has ice moves means that it's good against dragons, and it's good against things like Executor and soon to be Steelix when it comes out. So stack up your Onyx candies as well, guys. Steelix is also a force to be reckoned with. The next Pokemon that I want to go over, it's not necessarily a Pokemon that everybody's going to want, but it's got some resistance against Psychic. Not so much as resistance, but it's effective against them, but it's not resistant against them. Misdreavus is just straight Ghost. It's a straight Ghost Pokemon that knows a lot of Ghost moves and Dark moves, so it can very well stand its own and push hard against Psychic type Pokemon. But the fact that Psychic is still normal. It's a neutral effect to a Ghost, so that's not necessarily something you would want to do. You'd be better off using something like Houndoom if you want to battle against Psychic Pokemon like Executor, Jinx, Slowbro, and Alakazam. There is another Psychic Pokemon that is coming into the fray. I don't think it'll be highly played. I think it might actually not be that good. I really hope that's not the case, but Xatu, the evolved Pokemon from Natu, is a flying Psychic type Pokemon, very versatile. No Psychic type moves, and it can use flying moves, so it's decent, but which is why I don't think it will be a very high tier Pokemon. But let's see. I know I'm missing something else. Fortress? Yeah, I believe Fortress is another Pokemon you want. It's very, very tanky. It's extremely tanky. And, yeah, that's all I gotta say there. It's just very tanky. I know for a fact I'm missing a certain Gen 2 Pokemon. Ampharos, actually. Shoot. Ampharos. That, is an incredibly high special attack, and it evolves from the Sheep family, which are all electric type Pokemon. Mareep, Flaffy, then Ampharos. Keep your eyes open for those Pokemon. Those might be a high tier Pokemon due to its special attack stat in the gens, in the Pokemon games. But don't get your hopes up too high. As for me, I might do it because it's electric. I mean, you can never go wrong with more electric type Pokemon, so I would just do it just because there's not enough. Now, if you really do want more about electrics, there is a water electric Pokemon as well. I almost forgot. Lantern. Lantern is the evolution of, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Chinchinku or whatever. It's a water electric. It can use Hydro Pump. It can use Thunderbolt, Thunder. It's good. Electric isn't super effective, but it's normal. Unfortunately, I believe ground, it will now be weak to ground due to it being an electric type Pokemon. And even though it's water, the fact that it's electric electric is so weak against ground. It's not even funny. Like, even something that wouldn't be very effective against ground, and like in the first place, would just make it be super effective due to the fact that the Pokemon is electric. So be careful of that. I believe that is all the Pokemon that I need to list off. Now, I will make another video, I guess, giving you pictures, because I still don't know. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I don't know how to do the stuff that everybody else can do and have pictures popping up while the video is going. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I'm a caveman when it comes to these videos. I'm doing the best I can, but if somebody who does know how to do stuff like that knows how and watches this video, please let me know how I can make better videos in terms of my editing and whatnot. So thank you very much, guys. Apologies for yesterday, and you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys on the next episode.